I'm Dr. Bev Smallwood, and we've been talking about the 10 choices for resilience as they relate to the workplace. These are 10 choices based on my book, This Wasn't Supposed to Happen to Me. 10 make or break choices when life steals your dreams and rocks your world, which it will. Now today we're going to be talking about the choice between doubt and faith. Now, this isn't going to be a talk about religion per se, but about faith in general. Because you know what? When things happen that we just don't understand and it's not the way we planned it, then those questions that we have about how could this work out this way, and those hopes and plans that I had and the faith that I had even in a divine guidance and power, how can I trust that after this? And so those are some of the very real questions that people have when the world topples in on them. So I think one of the things that we really have to look at first when we get really thrown for a loop faith-wise is, have we had some faulty beliefs to start with? Now, one of those things that we all think about is, you know, bad things shouldn't happen to good people. Rabbi Kushner wrote a great book about this not too many years ago. And it was a bestseller for a reason, and that is that we sometimes think that really just if we're good, if we treat other people in the way we're supposed to, then bad things shouldn't happen. Now, you may be saying, "Nah, not me. I know that's unrealistic," but I can prove to you that you may have some hidden beliefs about that, because if you ever said this, when something happens to you, if you said, "What did I do to deserve this?" So the implication is, if something bad happened, I must have been bad. And if I had been good, nothing bad would have happened. So that faulty belief that bad things don't happen to good people is really a first place to start in terms of realizing that we can't always have things the way we want. And you know what? Even if we treat people the way that we want to be treated, they don't always reciprocate. So those are some of the things just to get out of the way right at the beginning. But even though we can have some of our faith, if you will, destroyed, we don't lose hope, and we can regain that faith when we begin to really look at our situations and put in place the three components of hope that have to be present for us to have that energy and that motivation to keep going. So I don't know where you are today. Maybe you just lost your job and you're going, who's going to hire me? What hope do I have for really a success in the market, the way the market is today? Or maybe you didn't get that promotion that you wanted, or you had that idea that you thought was a great idea and the other members of the team just kind of put it on the table and said, that'll never work. We tried that before. So you've had those disappointments. How do you get that hope back? Well, the research shows that there are three major components of hope. So let me share those with you now. The first is you got to have some goals. So what is it that you really want that is within your reach, but you got to stretch a little to do it, because that's motivating, and that brings us to the second one. And that is you have to have the willpower. You have to have some energy that you bring to the table and the determination that you're going to move forward. And then third, you have to have the way power. It's the how-to. What is your plan? What are your steps? And you don't have to have all the steps in place in order to move forward in faith. You just have to know that next one. I'll never forget something that happened many years ago. We lived across the street from a little lady named Ms. Franks, who loved to do arts and crafts, and my daughter Amy was only 4 at the time, and we'd go across the street and visit with Ms. Franks. She lived up on top of a hill, and I remember there was a long winding driveway. One day after we'd been visiting with Ms. Franks, we had kind of let the time get away from us, and we started back down that long hill to go to our house. And Amy was holding my hand very tightly, and she said, "Oh, Mom, what are we going to do? We can't see how to get home." And about that time, she made a very exciting discovery that I think really has a message in it for us. She said, "Look, if we look down at our feet, we can see how to take the next step." And that's really what you have to know to walk in faith. I want to close this segment with the commitment to faith from my book, This Wasn't Supposed to Happen to Me. No matter what disappointments or setbacks come into my life, I choose faith and its intimate companion, hope. I rest in the fact that no failure is final. I affirm that no one else's attitudes or actions have the power to determine mine. With a faith born of divine inspiration, I see more positive times ahead. I focus on hope, even when my circumstances look hopeless. I actively move in the direction of a better future, even when the total picture is not clearly visible. Even when the storms rage about me, I walk in peace because I know that I don't walk alone. Though it seems things don't always turn out for the best, I choose to make the best of the way things turn out. I may not see it now, but I know by faith that I have everything that I need to take the next step and then the next. My heart says yes to the beckoning of a meaningful tomorrow. Today, I choose faith. Thank you for joining us today on the Magnetic Workplaces Show. We'll talk next time about another one of those choices for resilience. Bye now.